Damn, I got to stretch. It was a brutal workout. Now I gotta walk. I always walk a mile to finish off my cardio, man. Walking is cardio. It's cardio too, man. You burn a few hundred calories when you walk a mile. Oh, I'm gonna get my stuff together. Man. Like I said, man, passing on your genetics is something that you need to take very seriously, man. You feel me? Some guys don't take it seriously, man. They think that we got plenty of time on this earth. You know, they think we, you know, we ain't gonna die. We're not gonna get old. Some people, I mean, some men think that way. They think like they're gonna stay inside their young body forever and shit. Like, no, there's gonna be a time and date when you're gonna get old. And the older you get without money or looks or status, the harder it's gonna be for you to pass on your genetics. Right now, it'll be kind of hard for me to pass on my genes, you know, at my age, man, because I'm gonna need a young female to do so. And a lot of young females are not really checking for older men like that unless you got the bag. You know what I'm saying? Can it happen? Yeah. I can find me a 30-year-old woman or something like that, 15 years younger, but that'll be hard too. Because most women, they want men around their own age. You feel me? You know, they want men around their own age. I gotta use the bathroom. And then the older you get, the more creepy you become. Oh, man, I can see it now. Me being old and broke, by myself in a fucked up ass apartment, or even worse, staying on the streets, still old, ain't got no money, broke, don't got a girlfriend, you feel what I'm saying? Don't got a wife, don't got nothing. You just old and broke for no apparent reason. You feel what I'm saying? That's the worst thing, bro. You gotta take this shit seriously, bro. You gotta take this bag getting seriously. We gotta hurry up down to the spot. It's already 10:30. Oh yeah. We gotta walk a little bit faster. You feel me? Like, you gotta understand something, man. There's a lot of men out here that take passing on their genetics very seriously. Like, there's a lot of men out here. A lot of celebrities, they thought the same way before they blew up. They took passing on their genetics, you know, with damn, the light ain't working? Wow, it broke. Wow, the light ain't working. The stoplight. Wow, I ain't never gonna cross this street. All right, man, I gotta hurry up. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get across this street. That's why I haven't said nothing yet. Haven't said nothing yet. What's up with it? Yeah, so motherfuckers gotta take they passing on their genetics very seriously, bro. It's like to the point where like you're so focused that your eyes are like laser beams, man. You know, your eyes are like Superman. You know what I'm saying? My eyes are just focused on the prize, nothing else, and passing on my genes to the next life, man. We're not living forever. Just remember that. There's gonna be a time and date when you check out. That's on the real, man. It'll be no more life after that. You feel me? And then, see, the thing is, it's gonna be a time where you get old. You know, we all gonna get old, man, if we don't die first. Then what? When you don't have children to look after you, man, then what you gonna do? Your children gotta be on your brain like your future children. And how you want them to come up, man. You feel me? How you want them to come up. You gotta pass on your genetics, man. You gotta do it. It's hard nowadays because of the cost of living went up. You know. You know. But my thing is, man, the smart and the strong will only survive, man. Only the smart and the strong will be able to pass on their genetics, man, with ease. When you set out a task, You gotta stop at nothing to complete it, man. You feel what I'm saying? You know, being persistent, staying persistent on the road to the bag, it's a must, bro. Because if you don't, you'll never get it. And when you get the bag, you better pass on what you, bro. You better pass on your genetics with ease, bro. You better pass on your genetics with ease, bro. You don't have to struggle. Celebrities, they don't struggle passing on their genetics. Why? Because they got the bag. Kevin Hart, even though Kevin Hart, shit, the fuck you, man. Stop rubbing up your engine when you see me, faggot. These motherfuckers out here are stupid, bro. They say pass me up, they want to rub their engine up. Like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Motherfucker act like he balling out of control. That shit ain't nothing, bro. Whatever you driving right now, that Charger ain't shit, bro. In the future, I'm gonna have something better than that. Anyway, before I was interrupted by that Charger, you know, that just drove by, rubbing up the engine, fucking up my live, you know. But like I said, man, passing your genetics, you gotta take that with some serious dosage, bro. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta take a serious dose of seriousness, bro. I pass on my genetics, I won the game, bro. If I didn't, I lost. Some guys, they proud to be single and 50-something, or they proud to be single and 40-something with no children. And then they start looking at the negatives of not having children and shit. Well, I don't have to pay for no schooling. I don't have to pay for no clothes or nothing like that. That'll be a burden on me. I'm like, having children is not a burden, man. It is a gift for your old age. You feel me? That is a gift, so that when you get old, you're not able to move, you got your kids, bro. You feel me? When you're not able to pick up a pencil off the ground, when you drop stuff, can't pick it up, when you're like 80 and barely hanging in there, bro, who's gonna be there to help you, bro? And you're childless. When you enter the old folks' home, you know, what you gonna do then when you don't have any children coming around to visit you? And everybody in that old folks' home, or most people in that old folks' home got children coming to see them, giving them gifts and, you know, all that other stuff, making sure they're okay, making sure they're not being mistreated in the old folks' home by the staff. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, they know you got children. They won't fuck with you in that old folks' home, bro. They know nobody's coming to your rescue. They're gonna treat you any old type of way, and you'll be too old to even fight back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, passing on your genetics is something that you gotta really think about. And then you gotta take it seriously by going after the bag every single day. It's a serious matter, man. I came to a conclusion that I might have children, or that I'm gonna have children. It's like, I gotta procreate though, man. Old age for me is just right around the corner. That's 15 years from now. I'll be 60. That's considered old, man. You know what I'm saying? And the years are going by quicker and quicker, the older you get. You know what I'm saying? So I'm focused on the future and passing on my genetics, man. I'm gonna be an old grandpa dad, man. I'm gonna be raising my kids in my 40s and my 50s. That's why when I get off the street, I'm gonna go on a clean diet, man, and start eating more vegetables and stuff. You know, start eating clean and exercising on a regular, so I can stay here longer, you know, and raise kids. You know, I just got done working out right now. You know, so you gotta understand something. Your genetics is what you're trying to pass on, and it's something you gotta take seriously. There's a lot of men out here, man. They taking passing on their genetics seriously. Just look at their card. Look at their net worth. You think they playing around? You think that they think this shit is a game? This ain't no game out here, bro. This is real life. And motherfuckers are passing on their genetics with ease. Not everybody, but the Chads and Tyrones passing on their genetics with ease. Just ask A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky, I mean. Just ask A$AP Rocky, the Tyrone. He just had another baby with Rihanna. He doing something that me and you is struggling to do. Well, he doing that with ease though. There's no struggle there. But you an average guy, man, you're gonna struggle passing on your genetics. Right now, man, you better be hustling on that bag every single day, man. Some of y'all need to go to Hollywood and shit, man. Pursue an acting career, man. Some of y'all need to go back to school and become a doctor or a lawyer or something. Shit, do something. It's better than doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? I take this shit very seriously, bro. I take passing on my genetics very seriously. Very seriously. I got to. You know, this ain't like when my mother and father came up, or in this case, my dad, you know, where there was no internet and you could just have babies all over the place. Back then in the 70s, it was a lot easier to get sex because technology wasn't advanced yet. So my father had no problem passing on his genes, man. Let me tell you, if my dad was born in today's time, he would have been struggling. You know, a younger dad, my younger dad, he would have been struggling if he was born in today's time, bro. You feel me? So I take this shit seriously, bro, because I'm in danger. I'm in danger of being erased from this planet, me and my genetics. You know what I'm saying? I'm already 45 already. That's why I haven't had sex. I haven't been chasing women, man. Wait. I haven't been chasing women at all, bro. I haven't had sex in 2 years. But I know after everything is said and done, after the bag is attained, I'm gonna have a whole lot of sex. There's gonna be a purpose to passing on my genetics, man. We already got a common enemy. It's called Chad and Tyrone. You know? Those are the guys who can pass their genetics on with ease. Don't have to worry about no struggle. Sometimes you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm struggling. I need to get that bag. You know? Sometimes you gotta, for real, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? If I don't get that bag, I'm gonna stay in this situation forever. I'll never get out of this. As simple as that. Tonight, I'm not going to drink it. I'm not going to drink tonight. I am not going to drink. I'm good. You know, I'm taking one night off. Right now, I'm drinking every other night. You know, I'm gonna try to take 2 nights off. Maybe return back to drinking on Friday. You know, take 2 days off. Return back to drinking on Friday, just so I can live a little bit longer. You know, I don't want to drink myself to death. Just cope myself to death. You feel me? Hold on 1 second. I'm taking a pee. Just cope yourself to death for no apparent. Coping is good as long as you're like on the path to like get the bag. Coping is good. It could be good because it's helping you get to the bag. You feel what I'm saying? But coping when you ain't doing nothing, man, it ain't gonna work. You just coping and you ain't doing nothing about your situation, man, that ain't gonna work. Coping is good if you're chasing the bag at the same time. Like me, after I get done turning my numbers, I'll get me a couple of shots. You know what I'm saying? After I get done, you know, putting my numbers in, I get about 5 shots or 6 shots of that good shit, and I'm good. You know? It helps me get through the night, you know? But also, I'm chasing the bag at the same time, you feel what I'm saying? So coping is okay, man. It keeps you sane. It keeps you going forward, you know? Somebody came around and said, Hellcat, bro, you are coping. I'm like, duh. What else is new, though, bro? You're pointing out the obvious, bro. You are pointing out the obvious. Of course I'm coping. I haven't had a girlfriend in 8 years, bro. That's something that I gotta take seriously, brother. This is serious, man. Nature's gonna erase your genes from the face of the earth, bro. If you don't get about your business, if you ain't gonna hit that bag, you feel me? Nature is gonna tear you a new asshole if you don't get on that bag chase. I'm okay with, you know, staying focused, bro. You know, I'm drinking because, you know, I'm alone and I'm on the bag chase by myself. Nobody's helping me. You know, nobody really believes in me, really. And all I could do is just believe in myself, man. I don't need nobody believing in me. But when I drink, man, it helps the night go by faster, you know. It helps the evening go by faster because I start drinking in the evening. And then nightfall comes around. I'm buzzed to the highest power. You know what I'm saying? I'm buzzed out my mind. I ain't super sloppy drunk, but I'm really, really buzzed, you know, just to help the night go by quicker. I wake up in the morning, I don't really have a hangover. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't drink that much. You know, I didn't drink until I blacked out. You know, I drink until I get really, really buzzed. And I get off the bottle. Damn. Some motherfuckers, they drink from sundown. From sun up to sundown, They got motherfuckers out here that wake up to get a beer. That's not me. I wake up, I go to Starbucks, I get me some water, and maybe a cream cheese bagel or something sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Or I might get a cheese stick or something. You know, string cheese or whatever. And I get out and I exercise, bro. And then I go fly my sign, get enough money to turn my numbers in. That's it. You feel me? You know, like I said, man, when you chasing the bag, it's about persistence and keeping on going on, you know? Keep it on going on. And right now, some of these older women, they giving me some play over there at the massage parlor. You know, they like in their 50s and stuff. You can tell they're older and they got nice bodies and stuff. But that's not what I'm after, man. I can't have a baby with a female that's like 50, bro. Like, that's not my main target. My main mission and target is to get the bag and get a younger female to have children with. That's it. And this is not easy. Getting the bag is not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of hard work and a lot of focus, man. A lot of being trapped inside a box, basically. Just like Usher was saying. He said, man, when you're in the studio, you're trapped inside a box for like 8 hours, you know, just singing and singing, singing and singing, you know. Your vocal cords all fucked up because you've been singing all fucking 8 hours and shit. You know, you're in an 8-hour studio session, bro. That's a lot of hours to be in there, to be trapped inside a box. And your mind is focused on everything. You ain't thinking about no women unless you're singing about them. The Usher, he's singing about women and shit. He making money off that. Usher is making money, you know, talking about stepping to a woman and shit. You know what I'm saying? But your mind is focused, man. You know, no distractions, bro. Nothing. Don't let nothing distract you, man. And like I said, Hellcat ain't gonna, he's not gonna be on YouTube forever, bro. Eventually, I'm gonna bring this channel to a close. And just remember me by the glory of love, from the Karate Kid Part 2. You know, whenever I leave YouTube, go to the glory of love. You know, the Karate Kid Part 2. When you want to think about me, that's where you go to. And listen to the song. It's all about my passing on my genetics with a woman. You feel what I'm saying? And I fought. And I bled. And that's why I like that song, man, because it's like, it reminds me that I'm a fighter. You feel what I'm saying? And I'll fight to the death. I'll fight till I bleed. I'll fight until I can't fight anymore. You feel what I'm saying? For me to pass on my genetics with the woman. You know? Remember when the Karate Kid Part 2, you know, remember he was fighting that one Asian Chad called what's his name? Chosen, yeah. You know, they called him Chosen, and he was always being the Chad, the Asian Chad that's coming around, picking on them, all the good looks and stuff that you can tell that them guys were probably incels or whoever wrote that Karate Kid movie or series. You could tell that these guys struggled in the dating market and they hated the shit out of Chad. Because every single bad guy in the Karate Kid series, including the new one with the Asian kid, you know, all these guys were Chads, bro. You know, but like I said, I like that series, the Part 2 of the Karate Kid, because it reminds me of how much I'm bleeding and how much I'm suffering just to procreate with the woman, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And that song right there, man, it reminds me of my mission, man. That's why I like that song. So if Hellcat ever disappear from YouTube, just remember that song, The Glory of Love, that's my song. Go by and listen to that song. Matter of fact, look at the video. You see how that Chad was beating up on Daniel, and he was kicking his ass until they start pulling out their little drum with the strings attached to it and start doing that shit. You know, moving it back and forth. and he started getting pumped, and then he unleashed a series of hellfire punches against that Chad, right? that's how you know what I'm saying. That's why I like that movie, and I like that song. You know what I'm saying? It's always the good-looking Chad in the Karate series, right? The Karate movie series against Daniel's son, basically a 4 in looks. Remember, like a 5, a 4 or a 5. And it's always the evil Chad villain, bro. Think about it. Part 1, Johnny, he was a Chad. Well, he was close to it or something like that. And then part 2, the Karate Kid, the Asian Chad. And then part 3, that dude with the ponytail, fucking jawline and shit. Nothing but evil Chads in the Karate Kid series, bro. That's funny, bro. That's how I see myself, bro, as the black Karate Kid, not the Italian Daniel LaRusso Karate Kid. He's the original Karate Kid. I'm just the black Karate Kid. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. And I'm fighting evil Chads everywhere. You know what I'm saying? For real. Even the new Karate Kid, but that was a Chad. The Karate Kid, was it Legends? Karate Kid Legends? There was a bad boy Chad that was coming him. Look, the bad boy Chad coming in between the new Karate Kid Legend guy. You know what I'm saying? They got an Asian guy now in the newest Karate Kid, right? He's always coming in between him and the girl. Always, basically Chad is a threat, basically, That's what the Karate Kid series is about. The evil Chad, that comes between you and the girl. That's why I love the Karate Kid series. I liked all Karate Kids. Cause I remind me, man. But on the inside, I'm a fighter. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight to the death. I'm gonna fight till I'm bleeding, just like in the Karate Kid Part 2 at the end. When he was in there fighting and bleeding, and he was, he had to save the girl and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? To procreate with her. I mean, they didn't go that far, but you catch my drift. You see what I'm saying? He was out there fighting, bleeding, tired. You know what I'm saying? Exhausted. Trying to stay alive and survive, man. Trying to defeat that Chad, that's in front of him. Part 2 was my best Karate Kid out of all of them. The other ones after that, man, they lost me with that. Even the new one with Will Smith, it's just like they lost me with that, man. I didn't find no connections with the Karate Kid series after Part 2. Part 3 was okay, don't get me wrong. The Karate Kid Part 3 was okay. But it wasn't like 1 and 2, okay? You know what I'm saying? I like Part 1 where at the end he was fighting the Johnny, right? Basically, the Chad, And at the end, when it came to get that last point, and that evil Karate Kid sensei, or the sensei in the background goes, "Finish him!" That's my shit. And the Karate Kid stayed focused. Daniel San stayed focused, and he landed that crane kick with the winning shot, and wow! And then the girl came out of the crowd, and she screamed. She was like, "Ah!" Ran up and hugged him and stuff. A new champion. You know what I'm saying? He believed in himself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even the Chad Johnny came over and gave him the trophy at the end. You feel me? Yeah. It's okay, LaRusso. You're okay. Thanks. Woo-hoo-hoo. And then Miyagi, he was sitting there with that proud smile. That proud smile. That proud smirk on his face. Just really proud because he did it. That's me, baby. You feel what I'm saying? At the end, I'll end up landing the last shot, the last blow in the end, you feel me? But I gotta go. You guys have a good day. I'm out. Peace. I gotta go now.